Oh, hello. First of all, y'all see my little eyebrow piercing and my little nose piercing? So, I'm going through a midlife crisis. Just kidding. But I did just have a birthday yesterday. You know, it's so crazy. I had 2 birthdays on this channel so far. Right? I was turning 28. I was turning 28. I just turned 29, y'all. You know what? Let's little bop. I don't know what's in here. If you don't know what's in here, whatever you think is in there is in there. Anyway, I just turned 29. Right? I made it. 1 more year around the sun. Okay? I don't even have any messages per se. But I have so many things to say. Now, am I gonna pull cards? Of course. I'm gonna pull from my affirmations deck specifically because I just really feel like everybody needs to be affirmed at this point in time. I'm going to sit with you in whatever chaos you are in and or wherever you're at. We're finna sit, we're finna key, we're finna whatever we need in this time. Food. Go get your snacks. Go get your food. Nourish yourself in whatever way you think you need. No judgment. And come back and play and sit with me, okay? Because I have some things to say. Now, a lot of the things I'll be talking about be filled with depth, okay? So I have a way of, sometimes it makes people uncomfortable, but when I know I'm around I know I'm around my kind of person when they don't shy away from the stuff that I'm trying to talk about, right? So as I'm sitting here talking to my damn self, because I am my favorite company, I have come across a couple truths that I don't think I have been acknowledging, shall I say. One of the truths that I just sat with was that I don't think higher self and God are the same, are like interchangeable. I think that your higher self is you in your most elevated state, as in maybe you in a version who has already died and reincarnated and died and reincarnated. You know, however many times you had to do that is the you that has surpassed all and has learned all the lessons that you're supposed to learn and is now able to help you navigate in the version that you are in now. Because you have to know, like, space and time is like are dimensions. Or is it dimensions? Yes. So like 2D, 3D, 4D. We know it's like way more than that. 5D, 6D. But they just scientifically prove that it's a 4D. And the fourth dimension is space-time and or time. So you got 2D, which is like flat surface, whatever. 3D, which gives it dimension, or gives it depth, shall I say, dimension. And then 4D, which is how it behaves, essentially. Look it up. Okay, I'm not a fucking scientist. I just like nerdy shit and watch a lot of YouTube. And then validate and fact check. That's what I do. That's how I learn. But I say all that to say, I think that's who your higher self is. Now, God, divine source, however you call it, Allah, however you refer to whatever that thing is for you. For me, God shows up as, I always come back to God shows up as consciousness. I used to be at a point where God showed up as matter. God is what everything is made up of. But I take it a step further and like, God is energy. That's where I've gotten thus far at 29. God is energy. God is the thing that everything is made up of, but like everything, like everything you could ever even think of. Like, you know what I mean? Because when you think of like God is in you, God is in me, you think God is a human. God made you in his image. But then you got to think of how vast the universe is and how when you zoom out far enough that it's not just stars you're looking at, it's galaxies. Like, you got to know that, like, that is not even a logical way to think. to think that God is made in your image. What makes you special? You're a speck of dust. You're not even a speck of dust. You're not even a microorganism in the grand scheme. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you're insignificant. Just saying, like, let's think logically. That's all. So, knowing that, God shows up in that way. I decided at 29 that I needed God to show up in a way that was more clear for me. Now, throughout my spiritual journey, I've had trouble asking for what I need and or requesting. Like, I had given up on prayer. I gave that up with my Christian beliefs, right? When I had trickled back into there are no rules and you decide what's good for you in your human experience, I've realized that it is God. You know what I mean? It's not the God that is in the Bible, but God is a powerful enough, it's a capital G on that way. You know what I'm saying? It's powerful enough, it holds enough weight in my world that my creator is God. Or the reason that all of this is possible, as in my human experience, your human experience, a table, a chair, is God, right? So I know God is higher than me and deserves respect as such, right? But I know now the power of prayer, that I can ask and shall receive, because of this co-creation, I can ask, I can desire. I don't know how I feel about demands, and that's why even when I pray, it comes off more as a question or like a desire. Like, I would prefer if, like, I really talk to God how I would talk to like my man, like how I would want to talk to someone who I respect, how I would talk to my dad, how I would talk to, you know what I mean? Not how I would talk to my boss, because that's two very different things. Do you understand the distinction I just made? Like, how I talk to someone I respect in a loving way, not how I talk to someone. Because when you go to a job and when you talk to a manager, I feel like you just talk to them very differently. I shouldn't have to explain the difference in how you talk to these individuals, right? And I'm sorry that I said like my man or my dad, because those are both manly figures, but something about God also to me is authoritative, not in a way that he is a man, but I do think for you to have created, for you to be the reason for the season, dare I say, Merry Christmas, everybody. For you to be so powerful, you have to have some sort of masculinity. Do you understand? And this is not gender. That's why I'm like, I hate that I picked two men for the example, but just masculinity. That's all I'm gonna say. You have to have some sort of masculine energy to you. And I think maybe that's why God is always depicted as a man, because he has to have some sort of masculine. Do you hear it? I can't escape my humanness. I'm sorry. But whatever. God has to have some sort of masculinity, because that is what masculine energy is. Authoritative, is powerful, is successful, is, knowing exactly what they want, does the thing, you know what I'm saying? That is masculine energy. It's not receptive, it's not submissive. It is, this is what it is, this is what it ain't. And that is very much what God is all about. I'm in a more integrated space. I'm almost 30. So I see life through a whole new lens that I've ever seen it. It's much more calm. It's much more integrated. Like I said, it's much more palpable, tangible, full. Like, I really feel like I'm stepping into who I am going to be for the rest of my life. Like, and that is saying a lot, right? So, and I'm forever evolving, of course. I'm just not one to ever be a label, to like succumb to labels or to even like a label. That's not me. But this is all over the place, I'm sure. Hello, cheers. And we're gonna start pulling cards soon. But I will say that as I have tried to stray away from my Christian beliefs, I find myself in this day and age aligning with a lot of those things. Like, and it's not even directly, it's not even like identically. I think that's all religions. Buddhist, Catholics, Jewish, Baptist, you know what I mean? Y'all are all gonna have central themes that align. So, dare I say, me on my spiritual journey and finding that some of my beliefs also align with religious beliefs. And that is just what it is. I don't want to have to reject or explain or justify that. And I think that's what a big part of being 28 was. Like, well, why do I want to call him God? Why do I want to pray? And it's like, there are no rules. If you feel called to do something spiritually, you probably should look into that, because God gonna show up the way God shows up to you, because God knows how to get through to you. Now, that's when that discernment comes in heavy, and that's right when I want to open this. That's when that discernment comes in, because, ooh, this is something I wanted to share with y'all. I had a dream, and my dreams have been, baby, if you're not writing down your dreams and or recording your dreams in some way, get to it, okay? My dreams have been coming to me aggressively. Like, they've been speaking to me aggressively. Just walk with me, okay? I saw the devil in its truest form in my dream. Now, what do you think I saw? A hooved creature with red skin, or, black, eerie horns, what, fire? You saw some scary creature stuff. No. That was not it at all. You know what I saw? I saw the lack there of anything, the lack there of substance. Now, oh my goodness. Let me keep explaining. Hold on. I saw the lack thereof, as in no real figure. Just the lack there of energy. On God, I looked at it, and it was like, I knew it was there, and it was distorting the things around it, but it was not visible with the naked eye. Like, it was really like invisible, but I knew, and I can't even explain it. I had wrote it down, so maybe I can like insert a picture of my screenshot of what I said here, but it was like the lack thereof matter, the lack thereof energy, but it was so sinister. You know what I'm saying? For it to not be a hooved, horned, red man with a pitchfork, it was so scary. And he was torturing a being, like a human. And I have watched, and it was like, I woke up, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But it just fed deeper into my belief that God is who they are, because I seen the devil. Like, I knew it was the devil, like, immediately. And so funny, since I am on my nerdy, I've always been a nerd, I feel. I've just never really like labeled it as such, because again, I don't like labels. But I've been really looking into black holes past couple days, and that is exactly how they behave. Like, before starting this video, I never made that connection, but they manipulate the stars around them. They don't eat everything in the way that maybe you might have heard, like that they suck everything in. They do, like they are a vacuum in some sense, but when they move through space, the things on the outside of them, they distort. And even the things on the, like that they suck in or whatever, they are being distorted. Like, you can see a black hole, but not in the way that like it's a black void moving. It's like manipulating everything around it and in it. So, yeah, I think that's definitely something to put attack in. And I'll just say that. And also, I just realized, and I don't know if this is true or not, I didn't fact check this, but as it sucks things in, sometimes they're like scientists are now realizing or discovering that black holes create stars too. Like how they can suck in and like eat stars, they are also creating new stars, like some of them. Look into it because I don't know too much about that. But so yeah, that is how I've been experiencing spirituality coupled with science. Because for me, I've always been to believe it, I need to see it. And I know that 28 and 20, just even starting this YouTube channel, I of course have been really stepping into my spiritual journey, like in a way where I don't have to do too much, in a way where I want to be shown, and it's okay for me to ask, and it's okay for me to desire and make those desires known. Ooh, I'm so sorry. I'm rattling, y'all. But I didn't like that. Ugh. Ah! I don't know why this feels so uncentered. I feel like because of the table. But anyway, yeah. So that's what this journey has been all about. Now we're going to do cards. I'm so sorry if that was all over the place, but bear with me, okay? That's how my life has been. So I'm going to set the intention that whoever needs this message will find it. This message will be, what avenue do I need to, or what path do I need to go down to experience the clarity I seek? Okay, so whoever's watching this, what path or avenue would be, like, how do I move? How do I show up to receive the clarity that is trying to reach me, right? Let's see. And I'll take, I don't even want to put a cap on it. Any cards that, okay, not that though. They gotta fly, you know what I'm saying? Let me do a little bit of this. One more. Oh my goodness. Okay. Uh-oh. Detox. Too often we see this word and we instantly think body, diet, movement. Do we ever stop and think about how we can cleanse our minds? What mental clutter are we hanging on to? Perhaps unnecessarily. Sister or brother, if it doesn't spark joy in your mind, in your body, or in your soul, discard it. Just as we have the power to select the food we eat, we have the power to select our thoughts. Detoxifying our mind, body, and soul begins with one selected thought at a time. So, I have definitely been on that grind of, or something I have heard recently that has been helpful in that specifically, finding your calm, your sense of calm, your sense of serenity. And when a thought comes, you decide if you want to think about that or not. You decide if you want that to enter your mind or not. And you can say no, or you can say yes. That might sound insane or hard, or like, you know, because you overthink. Thoughts really be coming like this sometimes, right? that's where you find that calm and serenity. And that's how you get to the place of decision. Not when you're doing 7 things, not when your mind is overthinking, because you have to start there with that meditating, whatever brings you that sense of calm and serenity. You have to start with that so you can start doing those other things. Okay, so I think that's great. Detox. That's fantastic. That is a way that some of you can find your path to clarity. Detoxifying your mind. Begin. Oh, hello, somebody who is not starting, who's procrastinating, who is, oh, I don't have this, and that, and now I can't do the thing, Begin. You can always begin, no matter where you are, no matter where you have been, no matter where it is you have to go. There is no backward, only forward. Only trusting that now is as good a time as any to pay attention to the little whisper inside of your heart. It's begging you to take the first step, my dear. It's begging you to begin. Beautiful one, please remember it is always the right time to start. Okay, both of these, great. Detox and begin. Okay, path to clarity. How do I know that this is the right decision for me? Start it. Start it. Find out. How will you know unless you know? How will you ever know that this is not for you if you don't start it? Right? So detox, begin. Jeez, okay, they are coming, okay? They got practice. Practice. Somebody, you gotta fail a time or two. How do you get clear on what you do and don't want unless you begin and then implement? You know what I mean? Do it a couple times, fail a couple times, win a couple times, see what works and what doesn't work. And I think these could even go in order. Like, first you do the detox, then you begin, then you practice. You know what I mean? But some of y'all are in each state too. Some of y'all have already done the detox. Some of y'all have already mastered your mind, and you know what I mean? Some of y'all have already began, and now you have to practice. Now it's like, so I'm speaking to everybody in whatever situation you're in. Practice. Sitting in stillness, letting all your thoughts subside, detox. Allowing the creativity to flow through your veins. How juicy, how ripe to sit in this place of being, in the place of practice. But tell me, is your choice becoming a chore? I'm sorry, that's not what it says. I'm always doing that. In this place of practice. But tell me, is your practice becoming a chore? Is it starting to feel heavy? Another thing to check off the list? We're going to talk about that. Does it seem impossible to sneak even just 20 minutes of practice into each day? Hello? When your practice feels cumbersome, simply remember, your practice knows not a container. In fact, the essence of your practice is delicately yet deeply interwoven into the very fabric of your life. Now, I just had a phone screen interview that was 20 minutes long, or supposed to be 20 minutes long. I don't really remember. So I think that's hilarious. I was going to decide not to do the phone interview, and I used these cards to help me decide if I was going to do it or not, right? Because I already have a job that I know I want, that I have accepted. I actually have 2 jobs that I want, that I have accepted. So I was just going to do this for shits and giggles, right? So I think that's hilarious. Like, I was practicing interviewing. And I knew that's what that was going to end up being like. How do I show up in an interview? Because when I know how I show up when the opportunity is on the line, right? When this is really a determination of if I can pay my bills, right? But when it's just for shits and giggles, when it's just like, I already have a few opportunities, maybe this one's better, maybe this one isn't, do it just to see. You know what I mean? When you're already stable, it becomes practice. So, channel. Hold on. Oops. When you're already sorry, I'm feeling cold. Abundance. Let's just read it. Because I just feel like I can't finish that channel properly without another card. And that's why I drew another one. True abundance, my love. Hold on. Okay. True abundance, my love, is not just about money. True abundance is about recognizing with grace and humility what has already been sent your way. Ooh. Abundant in life, abundant in love, abundant in movement. Come, bro. Abundant in the almond milk latte your coworker brought you this morning. Start to appreciate the ways in which you are already so looked after. Start to build wealth in the little things, and you will find the rest comes easy. Bro. Bro. And look, oh y'all, would you believe that the tops of the cards are sun and moon, butterfly and flower? Come on, detox, begin, practice abundance. If that is not a path in itself, sue me. Like, so something that has also been helpful, aligning with the me that I know I am. Aligning with me as a good, knowing I'm a good person, knowing my intentions are always good, knowing that even when I make mistakes, I know that I didn't intend to do that. I don't intend to hurt people. I don't intend to deceive. I don't intend to lie. That's not my thing, right? Sitting in that, aligning with that, aligning with things that align with that. You know what I mean? Like finding opportunities that align with what I actually want, not what I think I need. If you don't move in alignment with your desires, you are moving in a state of conditioning. So you're moving in a state of what you think people want for you or what you think you should want. Yeah? Instead of like what you desire. So I think this card is funny in the most beautiful and divine way because of the story that I just told you. Like, I'm over here interviewing. The cards told me, like, you don't need it. Like, you don't got to do it. But then I pulled another card and it was like, do it for the shits and giggles. Like, just do it. You know what I'm saying? Recognizing and moving, knowing you are abundant as a being. If you have done your work, like, you're already abundant as you are. Like when you're born as a baby, you know, babies are innocent. They come in knowing nothing. They get conditioned and then they turn into this person that they are, right? Whoever they are. You were abundant when you came to this realm of being. You were abundant when you came to the earth, right? Like you were abundant then. So when you release all that conditioning and you find yourself and you figure out how to move and who you want to be, you realize what your version of abundance is, because abundance is not just about money. Because your abundance could be money if you value money. Your abundance could be love if you value love, if you value community, if you value opportunity, if you value, you know what I mean, whatever you value. Because it's not just about money. Oh my good, true abundance is about recognizing with grace and humility what has already been sent your way. Abundant in life, abundant in love, abundant in movement, abundant in the little things, the coworker sending you a coffee, like, you know what I mean? Whatever your version of abundance is. So I think this is so cool. And I think this is such a good message. Like, these are the paths. Realizing you're already abundant. Practicing what you think abundance is. Aligning with that. Beginning whatever project or endeavor you think would bring you abundance, and detoxifying your mind and your conditioning from what, you know what I'm saying? If that's working backwards, if that's working forwards, if that's working one and not the other, like, you know what I'm saying? Just like abundance. What is your version of abundance? Who is your God? Your source? Is it your ancestors? Because, oh, girl, let me not do too much. Let me do back of the deck energy, which I haven't done in a while. I'll let y'all see it first. Is it upside down? Ooh. We got another moon. I don't know what it says. What was our other moon? Just for shits and giggles, shall I say. Our other moon was detox. Move. Dun, dun, dun. It is stagnant, my dear. This energy you are carrying, it feels stuck within you. Now, this is going to be related to the detox cycles. The energy you are carrying, it feels stuck within you. Just sitting there, deep in your belly, resting upon your shoulders, etched across the lines of your face, like an old rusty gate that simply won't open. But notice, my love, how easily the gate begins to work again when it is oiled and painted anew, awoken from its dormant position. When it is simply moved again, you are no different, dear one. You too simply need to move. Now, this one could be, you know how detoxifying of the mind was our other moon? This moon, I feel, is more so like when it was like, it doesn't have to be diet. It doesn't have to be. This is very much like stagnancy, stagnancy physically. Some of y'all need to move more. Some of y'all need to be taking those walks. And then you will realize how, like, in taking care of your body, how much more you are able to take care of your mind. Because as much as I hate to say it, taking care of your body is the step. I know this was back of the deck energy, like this was the last card. I honestly feel like that's the first card before detox. Before you can even get to detoxifying your mind, you have to detox your body in some way. And I know that was what the detox card said. Like, you immediately think diet. You immediately think, right? You should have already done that in some way. You should have already worked on your movement and your, you know what I mean? I hate to be that person because I used to really not believe in that ideation that what you eat and what you do with your body affects your mind. I've heard that so much, not growing up, but just in my early 20s, like, it's the food. It's what you eat, you know what I'm saying? It's what you're doing, it's what you're not doing, but it's really, really, really true. What you put in your body affects your emotions, it affects your mindset, it affects your clarity. It really does. So if you want to start and begin anywhere, please start and begin with how you take care of your body, your aura, your physical vessel. When you hear about people who got older or just people who lost parts of their body, hearing, sight, limbs, whatever, it's always some sense of regret. Like, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have got the chance to, I wish I would have, you know what I mean? While you have it, while you're so able-bodied, and while as much as you want to say you don't have the time, do the things, move, go for that walk, go for that run, go to the gym, whatever. Take that class, whatever. Get moving, especially while you're young. Okay. Movement, move, detox. Oh, what was the other one? Practice abundance. Much love.